I am filled with the gratitude for the outpouring of support we've received from all across our great country. But the time has now come to suspend my campaign.
After a series of Super Tuesday defeats, former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley has now suspended her 2024 presidential campaign. Haley only secured one win last night in the state of Vermont, halting her presidential aspirations. And with Haley out, Trump is all but guaranteed as a spot as a presumptive GOP nominee for president. And while announcing her suspension, Haley congratulated the former president, but did not endorse him.
It is now up to Donald Trump to earn the votes of those in our party and beyond it who did not support him. And I hope he does that. At its best, politics is about bringing people into your cause, not turning them away.
All right, let's bring in Chief Legal and Political Analyst Khalif Rhodes into the conversation. I promise you, when I was watching that this morning, I thought she was going to say, bless your heart at the end of that. But moving on, though, with this, suspending her campaign, very important in terms of the language, as she said, because she said suspending, not ending. And with that, two important reasons, delegates and money.
Well, the biggest thing is even after those things, which I think they're 100% important, a path to victory. If she can, her only path wasn't political, it's legal. If somehow Trump decides to not run based on being, impeached, convicted or something else with his multiple legal things that are out there, she'll still have a path. She'll still have money. She'll still have access to those delegates that she will not forfeit. So I think that is a clear sign that, yeah, I'm giving up, but I'm not forgetting that I was in this race and that she has a number of folks that are still out there wanting to support her. So, yeah, she's stepping away. She's done everything she could. I think she could have stepped away a number of days ago.
Which is what I wanted to ask you. Why do you think now? And it almost seemed, if you were listening to her announcement today, she kind of was trying to show that she has some power with the people who voted for her.
I mean, she had folks that are supporting her, make no mistake about it. It's just the lead that former President Trump had was entirely too large to catch. 1,215 is the number that you need to capture the nomination. Last night, 15 plus states, one territory was up for grabs, and she captured one location. That's it. I mean, so the writing was on the wall. I mean, what they say, the math is not mathing right there. It ain't mathing. She could not catch him regardless of what she did. There was not an opportunity politically. There was no strategy to ensure that she could catch him. And so as you start to see the numbers roll in, and it wasn't that these races were not even close. So she was doing well in places that allowed people that were not, registered as Republicans to vote. She did great in those places.
Very well with independents,
but in places
and moderates
where you had to have a Republican vote, specifically rural areas, she got destroyed. It wasn't even close. He polled very well and does very well, President Trump does, in locations with undereducated people that don't have college degrees. I mean, he was winning those precincts by 90 plus %. So she had no chance of catching him.
All right.